Go.
All right, hi, I'm Sofiane Delou, co-founder and CEO of NewLife.ai, a universal protocol for creative value. According to the United Nations, every year, more than $500 billion worth of fashion is wasted because fashion creators cannot guess and figure out what people want until it's too late, until it's reaching the shelf and you go to shops and don't buy what they have produced. And so, with the recent breakthrough with AI and computer vision, pictures have become data. And many startups have tried to tackle this problem, but they always fail for the same reason, which is that they download a lot of data from social networks, which are very late stage. So they are downloading data from consumers who take pictures of themselves after buying things on Zara and H&M and so on. And so, what if we could connect the minds of the creators at the inception of their creative process? Imagine a feedback loop where creators could interact and allow each other to receive feedback on the formation of trends, and then having consumers invited to the party. So let me introduce NewLife.ai. So on one side, we are a social creativity platform where creators can reach consensus in real time with a simple gesture. You just press your screen based on how much you like what you see, and as you can see there is this loading bar that takes the intensity of the like, but we also have an AI that unpacks the content and understands what's inside the content in order to really understand the intent. And we are producing a standardized data set for AI startups, for manufacturers and brands, to connect directly to the minds of the creators as they form their consensus. So on the user side, you have this gesture, then we have an algorithm that is like Google PageRank, where we score all the creators, and then all the data produced is available via an API, where brands and AI startups can utilize this data. And so the business model, it's B2B2C. So basically, the B2C is producing a lot of data, and instead of using it for advertising, the brands will actually download this data in order to anticipate trends and produce only what consumers want, and outcompete the competitors who are still blindly producing things and trying to play the guess game. So our clients will have a tremendous competitive advantage, which will drive a lot of interest on the business side, and then the more they purchase data, the more creators will want to join the social network. And so far we have 35,000 creators, including Grimes.
Hey, my friend, that was great. That was 3 minutes, and well done. So, judges, we have 3 minutes for questions.
Yeah, maybe I start. So if you tell us more about the business model, you were talking about the numbers. Can we touch on that? Can you continue on that?
Yes, sure. So on the business model, the idea is that we have all those brands who are going to stake tokens in order to unlock the licenses. So it's a bit like Google Ads, where you pay for keywords, but instead of paying for clicks, you pay to unlock specific segments of the data set. And if you have the highest amount of stake, you can unlock all the data and then utilize it for any kind of use case that will augment your value chain, from advertising campaign to the actual product itself.
Okay. And what is your market size?
So the market size we estimated at about 50 billion. So we will start with fashion because that's a vertical I know very well, since I've been for 10 years a publisher of the most visited fashion website. So I work with all the brands like Gucci, Dior, Vuitton and so on. And then once we are done with fashion, it can be applied actually to so many other things such as NFTs. We want to have communities participating in consensus on value, not just two people going back and forth. And the idea is to create this universal consensus algorithm to allow anyone to establish creative value from a community-driven algorithm. And so it can work for consumer packaged goods, for architecture, for car design. So we have been approached by Porsche, for example, and obviously the luxury space is the most interesting for us today because the IP, it's a 2.5 trillion industry, and most of the value is captured in the process of the formation of trends. So for a brand, it's very critical to get very close to where the consensus is going before their competitors.
My last question, platforms in general is a great business, but reaching the critical mass is a tough mission. So how are you planning to reach a critical mass in your platform?
Yeah, so we are currently forming a DAO because we are in touch with all the key opinion leaders in the fashion world. Last year has been very tough for fashion because all the fashion weeks have been cancelled and all the stock has been, refunded and so on. So we are bringing a new business model and at the same time supporting creators and bringing to magazines this new economic model where we will make them adopt the crypto economy and have them join our consortium. So we are creating a Swiss foundation where major players are coming. So we are partnering with the French Federation of Fashion, for example, and all those players will bring their ecosystem into our platform.
So we got 27 seconds left. I feel like actually, Michael moved his microphone first.
So I understand fashion is a $2.5 trillion industry, but I'm trying to wrap my head around what your addressable component is. I mean, you mentioned that $500 billion of waste. I don't really see how this addresses that. I mean, to me, it seems like gamification with, I mean, you're just starting to get to the peak of, manufacturers understanding that they might need a blockchain for provenance, right? So they'll say, but I don't understand why they're going to stake for